Welcome to the Roulette Master TV, where we go back in time to reveal unbelievable roulette systems of the past. Today's system is called the Money Train Roulette System. It's currently trending on YouTube. I think you'll love it, and let's get started. This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce to you the incredible Money Train Roulette System by Kip. He said he's used other systems. He's put parts of other systems together to create the best system you've ever seen, and I can't wait to test it for you today and share with you how he's making so much money. He says you can make at least half of your bankroll back in cash, and sometimes he says he makes the entire bankroll amount back in cash. So that's a huge claim. Let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start on, it looks like we're going to start on red for $10. And we're betting red because the last one to hit was black. And the one before that was red. But we'll go over that here in a second. There's a lot more to this one. And here we go. That's a 7 red. Okay, we won. So with this one, we're going to go ahead and increase the bet from 10 to 20 now. And we're going to be on black because there's a chop pattern going right now, which is going black, red, black. So let's see if we can win a $20 bet on black. Let's go ahead and spin. And we're going to keep track of how long these patterns last. And that's going to be our indicator of when it's time to reset. And that's a nice $20 win there. So now we're going to put a $30 bet on red, and we're up $30 already. We're hoping that this trend continues, the back and forth between red and black. And that's a 35 black. It did not. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go from $30 to $40, and we're going to bet on black, and we're going to hope that that trend of staying with black continues. So here we go. That's a 21 red, and we lost. So now we're going to go to a $50 bet, and we're going to be on black, and we're going to hope that it goes black, red, black. Okay, so we're going to take advantage of the chops and the streaks with this system, just like some other ones you've seen, but this is very different. This is playing the outside and has a very different progression. So that's a $50 win there. Let's see where we're at. We're up $10, and we're going to go to a $60 bet, and we're going to be on red. Okay, so we're going up $10 on every bet until we get to a certain number that I'll share with you here in a second. That's a 33 black. We lost at 60. Now we're going to bet 70, and we're going to bet that streak of black numbers continues. So we're going to take advantage of the streaks and the chops with this system, and that's a win. $70 win. We're up $20. We're going to go to $80 on black, and let's see if the trend of black numbers continues. That's a 23 red, and we lost. Okay, we're going to go to a $90 bet, and now we'll still be on black because now we're going to bet on it to chop and go black, red, black. We're going to take advantage of the chops and the streaks. And that's a 32 red. We lost. So now we're going to put a $100 bet on red, and we're going to bet that this red streak continues. And I know there's been systems that use this kind of betting pattern before, but this one has a lot of other aspects included with it. And that is a $100 win. We're at minus 50. So now we're going to put a $110 bet on red, and we hope that red's going to continue. And when we have streaks and chops, once we hit so many in a row, we're going to stop. But we haven't got there yet. I'll share with you what that is here in a second. So now we're going to bet 120 on red, and we're going to bet that it starts to chop red, black, red. Here we go. And that's a 29 black. That's a loss. So now we're going to go to 130, and we're going to bet on black. And now we're going to bet on the streak to continue. So we're taking advantage of streaks and chops. And that's a 6 black. Okay, that's a win. We're at minus 150. We're going to go to a $140 bet. And you can see we're going up $10 each time. We're going to try to catch either a color streak or a chop streak. That's a 10 black. Okay, that's a $140 win. We're going to go 150 on black and spin. So we have 4 in a row. Let's see if we can get 5. All right, that's an 11 black. Okay, and the magic number with this system is 7. We're up 150, so we're going to go to 160 on black. And if we get 7 in a row of a color streak or a chop streak, we're going to reset. And here we go. That's a 7 red. We lost. Okay, so now we're going to go to 170, and we're still going to be on black, though, because now we're going to be betting that it starts to chop. It starts to go black, red, black. Here we go. And we got it. That's a 15 black. Okay, so we're up $150. And then we're going to go to 180 on red. So here we go. And we're going to bet that it continues to chop and goes red, black, red. And we got it. That's a 5 red. Fantastic. That's a $180 win. We're up $330. And now we're going to go to 190 on black. And spin. All right, here we go. We got it. That's a 15 black. $190 win. We're up $520. Now we're going to go to a $200 bet on red. Continuing to go up $10 per spin. And we got it. That's a 32 red. That's incredible. All right, now we're up $720. And we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row chop. So 7 is the most we do. So the last one was at 200, and that means we're going to have a $210 bet on black. So basically, you're going to play until you get a 7 in a row chop streak or a 7 in a row color streak. And when you do, you're going to make a ton of money. That's a 26 black, and we got 7 in a row chop streak. So now we reset, and we're up $930. So we're going to go back to 10, but we're going to be on the chop streak, back and forth on the chops as long as it'll let us ride this, and that's a 17 black. We lost, so we'll go to 20, and now we'll be on black, and now we're going to try to take advantage of a color streak. And we got the win. That's a 29 black. And we're going to go to 30 now, and we'll be on black. We're up $940. This is a $2,000 bankroll system, and he says he can get half of that. We're almost there now. And that's a $30 win. We'll go to 40. And spin, see if we can continue this streak. That's a 20 black. That's a good one. So now we have 5 in a row. We're going to go to 50. We have 5 in a row black. 7 is the most we do before we reset. But at any point, if you want to reset before, then you can. And that will make it a little bit safer. We're up $1,060. We're going to have a $60 bet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. If we win this, it'll be 7 in a row, and we're going to restart. And we got it. So we restart again. That's 7 in a row on streak color. We're up $1,120. We go back to 10 on black, and let's see how long this lasts. And here we go. All right, that's a 9 red. We lost, so we'll go to 20 and stay on black because now we're going to be betting on it to chop, which is the back and forth. That's a 28 black. That's a win, so we'll go to $30 and we'll be on red because now we're on the chop. It's going to go black, red, black, red. So we're taking advantage of both the chops and the streaks, the color streaks, that is. Now we go to 40, and it looks like we'll be on black now. Now we have a black color streak. And I know we had this on a system this week already that was like with this betting pattern, but it wasn't on outside bets and had a very different progression. So we're going to go to 50 now, and we'll be on black for 50. Let's go ahead and spin, and let's see what we get here. That's another good one, 35 black. Okay, we're going to continue to go up by 10. We'll go 60 on black. We have 4 in a row. The most we go is 7. And you can adjust that if you want to make it safer. You can lower the 7 number. But that's another nice win there. That's a 22 black. We'll go to 70. Now we're up $1,250. That's incredible. And then once these color streaks stop, a chop streak might start, and we'll take advantage of that as well. So now we'll go to 80. We'll still be on black because now we're betting on the back and forth chop. And let's see if we can get a streak of chops. That's a 13 black. We got the win there. We'll go to 90, but now we'll be on red. We're up $1,260. And let's see if it starts to chop. We've had a lot of color streaks. Let's see if we can get a chop streak. And that's a 34 red. $90 win. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. And you can see that was a $90 bet. So the next one will be 100. And we're betting on it to chop. And this is a system that can make you a ton of money because it just keeps going up. And that's a 1 red. And that's a loss, so we go to 110. But now we go back to red. And we're up 1,250, $110 bet on red. Now we're going to hope that a red color streak starts. And that's a 33 black. We lost again. So let's go ahead. Now we're betting on red for 120. And we're betting on the chop to start. So red, black, red. All right, and we got it. That's a 12 red. So we'll go to $130. Now we'll be on black. Okay, so 130 on black, and then we'll count how many in a row we have on this chop streak. That's a 33 black. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row right now. So we'll have a 140 bet on red, and let's see if it continues to chop. We're going to keep going up by $10. All right, that's an 18 red. Fantastic. We're at $1,530. Now we'll have a $150 bet on black. Let's see how many in a row we have on the chop. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. The most we ever do is 7, but you can lower that if you want it to be safer. This one really makes money fast, though. That's an 11 black. That's a $150 win. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have a $160 bet on red. We are up $1,680. This is a $2,000 bankroll system. We're getting somewhat close to the actual bankroll amount, and that's a 0 there. So that's a loss at 160. If we get a 0 with this system, we just act like the 0 is not there, and we go up $10. So we're going to have 170 on red, and we're going to be betting on it to continue with the chop. Here we go. That's a 15 black. That's a loss. So now we're going to be betting on black for 180. And we're going to be betting that black starts to continue with the color streak. We lost again. That's a 5 red. So we'll go to 190 on black. And now we're betting on it to start chopping black, red, black. We're going to take advantage of both. And that's a 2 black. Okay, that's a $190 win. We'll put a $200 bet now on red. And anytime you can reset if you're happy with your profits. We're up $1,360 right now. So obviously, anytime you can take the casino's money and cash out, go ahead and do so. But the most you can do is 7 with this system, and that we lost at 200. Now we're going to have a $210 bet on black, and we're going to try to get a black color streak going here. That's a 31 black. That's good. Okay, we're up $1,370. $220 bet now on black. And let's spin. All right, here we go. That's a 30 red. That's a loss. So now we're going to be betting on black for 230, and we're going to be betting on it to chop black, red, black. We're taking advantage of the chop and the color streaks. Both sides of it we're taking advantage of. That's a 4 black, and that's a win. We're up $1,380. Now we're going to have a $240 bet on red. Here we go. And let's spin. Let's see what we get here. All right, fantastic. That's a 16 red. We are up $1,620. Now we'll have a $250 bet on black. Let's see how long we can get this chop streak to go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row right now, and let's spin. All right, that's a 26 black. All right, that's fantastic. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. We'll go to $260 on red. And we're up $1,870. That's a 0. That's not good. But remember, we just act like the zeros are not there. So we have a $270 bet still on red. And we're betting on the chop for it to go red, black, red. All right, that's a 3 red. That's a good one. Okay, we're up $1,880, and we're going to have a $280 bet on, looks like black. So here we go. Let's see how many we have in a row here. We have, on the chop, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be, this would reset us right here if we can get a $280 win on black. Because we're acting like that zero's not there, but we lost it. So we lost that streak there. Now we're going to go to 290 on red, and we're going to be betting on a color streak to start on red. Let's see if that happens. And we lost that one. That's a 11 black. Okay, so we'll go to $300, and that's on red because now we're betting on it to chop. And now we're finally hitting a rough patch. Let's see what happens. That's a 10 black. Okay, that's a loss. We'll go to $310 on black. Let's see how big of how much that hurt our profit. We're up $1,010. We have a $310 bet on black. Okay, we got that one. That's good. That's an 8 black. Okay, so $310 win. We're up $1,320. We'll go to a $320 bet on black. And let's see how long we can ride this black color streak right here. All right, that's a 35 black. And that's 4 in a row. But remember, we can stop whenever we want. We're going to have a $330 bet now on black. Anytime you want to walk with your profit, go ahead and do so. But the most you can do with this one is 7. That's another nice win, 31 black. So now we have 5 in a row. Again, we're taking advantage of the streaks and the chops. And now we're going to have a $340 bet on black. And here we go. Remember, it's a $2,000 bankroll system, and we just won over $2,000. There's our, that's 6 in a row, but let's stop right there. We don't have to go to 7. We're up $2,310. And let me know what you think of this one. It can be very aggressive, but it made a lot of money very quickly, and it takes advantage of the chops and the streaks. Goes up 1 unit each time. And remember, though, you can always walk with the cash. You don't have to keep going until you have 7. And let me know what you think of this down in the comments. If you want to send a system in like this or whatever you have, send it to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's what it's all about. And really appreciate all you guys sending those in every day. It's awesome. And now we have a system that's trending on YouTube right now that's doing fantastic, that's coming up right now. And let's just jump right into it and get started. Here we go. Thanks for sticking around. I think you're going to absolutely love this roulette system that's trending on YouTube right now. This is called the Red Rover roulette system. No losses, and let's jump right into it. Here we go. This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce to you the unbelievable Red Rover roulette system by Craig. He says that this is the best system you will ever use, and it's the smartest, and I can't wait to show you why. And we're going to put his system up against one of the best today, the 789 roulette system. And if you haven't seen this one before, it's incredible. Let's start with that first, and let's see which one of these systems makes the most money in 15 minutes. Here we go. We're going to start with $5 streets, and we're going to have 7 of them. So let's put those out there. And you can also do this with dollar units, and then that'd be $7 to start. We're going to start with 35. So 7 times 5. And here we go. That's a 32 red. And that's a loss. And when you're playing this system, you add a street and double if you lose. So now all of a sudden we have 8 streets instead of 7. And now we have $10 instead of 5. And that's a 2 black. We lost again. And the cool thing about this system is, and now we're going to add $10 to the end so that they're all $10. Now we're going to have 9 streets, and we're going to double the bet again to 180. And now all of a sudden we have a fantastic chance of hitting this. And that's a 3 red. But we didn't, and that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and double the bet now. We're not going to add any more streets. We're at 360 total bet, and here we go. That's a 33 black. There's 1 win. We need to get 2 wins. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll check our balance. Again, we have a fantastic chance of hitting this with 9 streets now. And that's a 31 black. Okay, that's a win, but you can see we're not in profit. So if you have a bunch of losses with this, you have to get 3 wins instead of 2. So let's do that. And there's an 18 red. But you don't normally have to do that. That's just because we had a bunch of losses. We're up $65 now. Let's go back to 7 streets where we started. And that was a really rough start, but we made it through. So now let's go ahead and start back over and make some money. Here we go. That's an 11 black. And that's a nice $25 win. We're up 90 now. We'll just stick with those same 7 streets for now, but we can mix it up at any time. And that's a 2 black. That's a loss. So we add our 8th street, and then we double. Okay, so now we're at 80 instead of 40. So now there's $10 on those bets instead of 5. And that's a 1 red. Okay, we lost again. So we add our 9th street. But we put $10 when we do that because they're all at 10. And then we double to 180. And then we're going to try to get our 2 wins. Here we go. That's a 15 black. There's 1 win. We need to get 2. So let's do that. And here we go. That's a 27 red. Okay, that's a win. We're up 95. So let's go ahead and reset. We'll make plenty by getting some first. When you start getting some with 7 out here, which we will, we'll make $25 per spin. So we'll get back where we need to be in no time. That's an 11 black. And there you go right there. See, another 25. We're up 120. So let's just rebet and spin. And if you have a chance to reset, always do it. And that's a 32 red. We lost. So let's add the 8th street in and then double. Okay, now we're at $80. And now there's $10 on each one of those 8 streets. And that's a double 0. So that doesn't help us much. So now we're going to add $10 to the 9th street, which makes them all 10, and then we double to 180 and spin. Now we need to get our 2 wins. That's a 29 black, and the good thing is when you increase the numbers you bet on like this, you have a much better chance of hitting, and that really helps later in the progression. And that's a 1 red. Now we lost, so we need to double and then hopefully get 2 wins in a row. We're at 360 total bet now. This is a $2,000 bankroll system, and that's a 17 black. That's a win. Let's get the second one and see where that puts us. Here we go. That's a 16 red. I think we got the second win. We're up 125. That's close enough. So let's go back to 7. We don't want to have to go for 3 unless we absolutely have to. And again, that's because if we reset and start getting some wins, it's going to build back up quickly anyway. We don't have to risk all that. And you can see if we had not reset, we would be in trouble right now. So let's go ahead now and let's double these after we add the 8th street. That puts an $80 bet out there. This is 789 Roulette, and that's a 36 red. We lost that one, so let's go ahead and add another street. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to add one there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means it's time to add 9. So they all have 10, and then we double to 180. So 9 of them have $10 each, and then now they have 20. That's a 5 red. We lost again, so we need to double again. Now we're at 360, and usually you don't have this many losses with this many numbers covered, but it can happen. That's why I'm glad you're seeing how we're going to deal with it. Okay, there's a win at 120. Let's rebet and spin again here. And you remember, you can do this with dollar bets as well. And if you take the starting bet of 5 and you divide it, and you go to 1, you basically divide by 5 with the bankroll and the starting bet. So you can see we need to get 3 wins this time, though, because we had so many losses. So let's get our 3 wins. And we got it. That's a 19 red. But if you're close to where you should be, then you don't want to go for the third one. We're up 190 now. So that definitely paid off. And let's start with our 7 streets again. And again, you can put them wherever you want them. And the key is that it goes from 7 to 8 to 9. And that's another loss on 3 red. It seems like we've had a lot of 3s today. Let's go ahead and add a street and double.
No more bets.
This is 789 roulette. And here we go. Ooh, that's a 00. I don't like that. Okay, let's add the 9th one in at $10. And now they're all at 10, so we double. Now they're at 20, and we're at 180 total bet. We need to get our 2 wins. That's a 26 black. Okay, that's a win. Let's get the second one.
No more bets.
Here we go. That's a 10 black. Okay, we got that one. We're up 195. Let's reset. And you can even skip some if you want to. It doesn't matter as long as you start with 7. Let's just put 7 out there. And spin. And let's see what we get here. That's a 15 black. That's a win. And then again, if you can start getting some wins at 7, that's $25 per win. You can see that puts us up to 20. So time to place the next bets. And here we go. Got to pick 7. We'll skip this one this time for something different. There we go. And spin. Doesn't matter which 7 you pick. You can mix them around or you can keep them together. Either way. Oh my God! I hit the one that I skipped. That's crazy. Okay, let's add one more in. We won't add that one in though. Let's go to 80 now and spin. What are the odds of that? That's a 4 black. We just missed that one too. So now we add the 9th street in. Let's add it in. Oh man, I don't know where to add it in. Let's add it in right here. Okay, and then we're gonna double to 180. And now let's get our 2 wins. That was crazy. Okay, we got one there at 17 black. Let's see if we can get win number 2, and then we'll check our balance again.
No more bets.
Here we go. Okay, that's a 20. That's a second win there. Let's see where that puts us. Okay, we're up 225. That's close enough. Let's go back to our 7 streets. And spin. And hopefully we can get a few wins with 7 streets, and we can make more when we do that. That's a 17 black. And there you see it right there. Now we're back up 250. That's why whenever you're close to session profit, you want to reset. You don't want to push it, because you'll probably get back up there anyway. And there's another win of 25. We're up 275. So we have 21 numbers covered when we start with 7 streets. And that's a 13 black. So you have a good chance of hitting those ones. We're up $300 now. But if you get on a nice little roll like this, you can really make a lot of profit quickly, which is, again, why you want to reset if you're anywhere near session profit, because you have a good chance of winning it back quickly. And we'll add a street here and then double to 80 and spin. We got 5 minutes left with 789 roulette. That's an 8 black. That's a win, and we're up 305. So now we're going to try to get our second win here. You need to get 2 wins to reset. That's an 11 black. There's our 2 wins. We're up 345. And now you're starting to see it really come together here. We're back to 7 streets at $5 each where we started. That's a 32 red. Okay, we missed that one. Let's add the 8th street and then double. Then we need to get 2 wins here or 2 wins at 9. That's a 13 black. There's one of those wins, so let's rebet and spin. And if you get 2 wins here, it's obviously better than when you're at 9. But let's see what we get. That's a 28 black. All right, that's another win. Now we're up 390. So obviously it helps us if we can get the wins at earlier. And but you never know. That's why we keep adding streets, so that we have a better chance of winning. And that's a 14 red. That's a win. Picked up another $25. And we're up 415. Let's rebet and spin. All right, here we go with 789 roulette. That's a 4 black. That was close, but no cigar. So let's go ahead and add the next street, which makes 8. And then we're going to double.
No more bets.
Now we're at that $80 total bet again. And here we go. That's a 26 black. Okay, there's 1 win. Let's see if we can get 2.
No more bets.
And here we go. That's an 8 black. All right, there's our 2 wins. We're up 460, doing incredible with this one. Let's go back to 35 where we started. And again, if you want to, you can always move these streets around. We'll move them around some, but that's a 00. We lost that one. So let's add our 8th street in and then double.
No more bets.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, I thought I was going to hit 00 there, but that's a 10 black. There's 1 win. Let's get 2.
No more bets.
All right, here we go. What will we get here? That is a 22 black, and there's our 2nd win. Okay, so now you see we're up 505. That's awesome. So let's go back to 35 and spin. We're back to our 7 streets at $5 each. Okay, that's a 12 red. That's a win. Great. We're up $530.
No more bets.
Just cruising right now. Here we go. That's a 2 black, and that's a loss. So let's add our next street, our 8th street, and double.
No more
Okay,
bets.
now we have 10 on each instead of 5. There's 8 of them. And that's our bet. So that's a 16 red. That's 1 win. Okay, let's go for win number 2 and then see where that takes our profit levels. And if we don't get it, we'll go on to 9 streets. That's 4 black. We did not get it. So we add $10 in to make them all the same. Then we double and spin. Now all of a sudden we have 27 numbers. We have 9 streets. Okay, that's a 20 black. There's our first win. Okay, that's a $60 win. Let's rebet and spin. Try to get win number 2 and then reset. Ooh, I thought I was going to hit the 00 there. But we'll take the 2nd win. We're at $575. So let's go back to 35 where we started and spin again with 7 streets at 5 each. We have 1 minute left with 789 roulette, and that's a 19 red. That's a win. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And again, anytime you want, you can move these streets around as long as you have 7 to start. It goes 7 and then 8 and then 9. And there's a win. We're up $625 now. Incredible. All right, here we go. That's an 8 black. That's a win. So now we're up $650.
No more bets.
All right, here we go. That's an 11 black. That's a win. So we're up $675.
No more bets.
Still at the $35 base level bet at 5 each on 7 streets. That's a 29 black. Ooh, we just missed that one, and we're going to go ahead and add a street and double.
No more bets.
Let's go ahead and spin here. And it's a 35 black. Okay, that's a loss. So let's go ahead now and add the 9th street, and then we'll double to 180 and spin. Okay, that's a 35 black. That's a loss. So let's go ahead and double again here to 360. And let's get our 2 wins. Okay, that's one of them right there. That's a 20 black. Okay, that's a $120 win. Let's see if we can get another one here. Okay, that's a 10 black. Okay, there's 2 wins, and 15 minutes is up. So that's a $620 win for 789 roulette. But now it is time for the new roulette system of the day. I can't wait to share this one with you. Let's jump right in there, get started, and here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the incredible Red Rover roulette system. Let's place the bets, and we're going to start with $10 on 3rd column, $10 on red, and let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. Okay, that's a red 5. Okay, that's a break even. So if we hit any red in first or second column, we're going to break even. So let's just go ahead and spin again here. Okay, that's a 6 black. Okay, that's a $10 win. Let's just rebet and spin. So if we hit a black number in the third column, we do get a win. And that's an 18 red there. And that's a $30 win. So now all of a sudden we're up $40 because we hit a red number in the third column. Okay, we're still at base level. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. There's a lot more to this, though. I have to show you as we go through here. That's a 33 black. Okay, that's a $10 win in the third column. We'll take it. Now we're up 50. And here we go. I need to show you what we're going to do, though, if we have multiple black numbers consecutive. And that's an 8 black. So if we get 2 black numbers in a row, what we do is we spin without betting until we hit a red number, and then we're going to go up a unit. Okay, so that was a 20. We would have lost that one, but we didn't. So we're just going to spin again here and see what we get. Okay, that saved us right there on the 00 too. We would have lost that one. So we're going to keep spinning until we hit a red number. Okay, we would have lost that one as well, I believe. Yes, we would have. That would have been 3 losses in a row, but guess what? We didn't lose any of them. And here we go. And that's a 2. We would have lost that as well. That would have been about 6 losses in a row there. We did not lose any of them. And let's hit a red number and start making money again. That's a 14 red. Okay, that lets us start again. We're going to go from 10 to 20. 20 on red, 20 on third column, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 16 red. Okay, that's a break even, so we just rebet and spin. That's any red number that's not in the third column. That's a 13 black. Okay, we lost. So we're going to go up another unit. We're not going to sit out unless there's 2 in a row black. So we're going to go from 20 to 30. Okay, there's 2 in a row black. So now we sit out. And remember, we're at 30 each. So let's go ahead and spin. This keeps us from losing on huge streaks of black numbers or you know, any zeros or anything like that as well. We would have lost that one. So here we go. That's a 6 black. Okay, let's go ahead and spin again until we get a red number. Here we go. That's a 29 black. Okay, we would have lost that one. Let's just spin again, and then we'll resume the progression once we hit a red number. Okay, that's an 18 red, so that resumes the progression. And now we're going to go up a unit. We're at minus 70 right now. We got 40 on each. And let's get a win with a red number in the third column. That's a 14 red, and I believe that's a break even. That won't hurt us any. Let's just rebet and spin. Here we go. Okay, that's a 4 black. We lost, so we go up a unit. So we go to 50 and 50. If we get 2 black numbers in a row, we will sit out again. But that's a 27 red. That's a $150 win. So you can see we're not in session profit, so we keep the bet the same and spin again. All right, here we go. That's a 35 black. We lost, so we go up a unit. So let's do that. You can see currently we haven't started off well. We're minus 100, but that's okay. We'll be patient. Here we go. Okay, that's a 28 black. Okay, that's 2 in a row black. We're going to sit out. So let's spin and make sure we don't have a bunch of losses in a row on black numbers. That's an 18 red. We would have won that one, but let's go ahead now and go up a unit. It's time to bet again. Now we're at 140 total bet, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 36 red. That's a good one. That's a $210 win. We're still not in session profit,
No more bets.
so we stay the same at 70 each, 140 total. This is a $2,000 bankroll system, and that's a 4 black. Okay, we lost that one. So we go up a unit. If we get 2 black in a row,
No more bets.
then we sit out again. We're at 160 total right now. That's a 15 black. That's an $80 win. Okay. So we're at minus 70. We're just going to, since we won, if you win on black though, you just rebet and
No
spin.
more bets.
And here we go. That's a 32 red. That's a break even. We'll just rebet and spin again at 80 each, 160 total. And we're being real patient and waiting for our moment. That's a 21 red. There we go. That's a $240 win. Now all of a sudden we're up $170. We were patient. Now we go back to 10 on each.
No more bets.
So we've been patient and now it's paying off. Let's go ahead and spin. That's a 24 black. That's a $10 win. We'll take it. We're up 180.
No more bets.
All right, let's rebet and spin again here. Here we go. That's a 28 black. Okay, and we have to have 2 losing black numbers in a row to sit out. So since we won on one of those black numbers, we keep spinning. And that's a 27 red. That's a $60 win. We're in session profit at 220. That's awesome. So we go back to 10 and 10.
No more bets.
And the genius of this is that there's a lot of red numbers in the third column. And so a lot of times when you hit a red number, it's going to be one of those ones in the third column. So let's go ahead and go up a unit again. Again, the reason we don't sit out when we have a loss on black is because we need 2 of them. And that's a 36 red. That's a win. That's a $60 win. We're in session profit at 260, so we go back to 10 on each.
No more bets.
And when I say that, I mean the most profit that we've had since we started. That's what session profit is, and that's a loss with a 4 black. Okay, but we don't do anything but increase by a unit because we don't have 2 in a row losses on black. Here we go. Okay, that's an 8 black. Now we do have 2 losses in a row on black. So we're going to be at 20, or we're at 20 and 20. When we resume, we'll be at 30 and 30. So let's spin without betting before we get to that. Make sure we don't have a bunch of losses in a row. And that's an 11 black. Okay, we would have lost that one. So that's fantastic. Let's keep spinning. Okay, that's a 2. We would have lost that one, but we didn't. Let's spin again. That's a good feeling. That's a 22 black. We would have lost that one as well, but we did not. This is awesome. Okay, it finally ended. That's a 12 red. And that would have been a good hit, but that's okay. We got through some bad ones, and now we're going to go from 20 to 30 and spin. Again, if you hit a red number, you do have a good chance of hitting third column just because there's so many of them. And that's a double 0. So double zeros or zeros count as a black loss, but we don't have 2 in a row. So we just go up a unit. So we'll go from 30 to 40 and spin. That's an $80 total bet. Oh my goodness. So two zeros would be the same as 2 losing black numbers. So we sit out. And let's do that. That was brutal. That's a 10 black. Okay, we would have lost that one, but did not. Here we go. That's a 33 black. We would have won that one, but that's okay. We need a red number to resume. Okay, it's time to resume again. So now we go up a unit. We go from 40 to 50 and spin, and now we just need one of those red numbers in the third column. Again, most of the red numbers are in the third column, so that's good. We broke even. That won't hurt us any. Let's rebet and spin at 50 each. And here we go. That's a loss on 4 black. but not 2 in a row, so we go up a unit. Okay, now we're at 60 each, 120 total. We'll check our balance after this. That's a 33 black. Okay, that's a win, so we'll just rebet and spin. Here we go. That's a 14 red. Break even. We'll just rebet and spin. You can see we're not in session profit right now, so we need to get a good win, but we can be patient. And that's a 35 black. Okay, we don't have 2 in a row though, so we just go up a unit. Okay, so we're at 70 each, 140 total. We need one of those red numbers in the third column, but with the $2,000 bankroll, we can be patient and wait for it. Okay, we lost 2 in a row, so now we sit out. We make sure we don't have a ton of losses in a row with black numbers or zeros, so that saved us right there. Okay, let's spin again, and here we go. Let's end the black numbers, and we did with the 14 red, so it's time to bet again, and then we go up a unit to 80. 160 total. Let's get a win with a red number in the third column. That's a 27 red. There we go. That's a 240 win. But you can see we're not in session profit, so we keep the bet the same and spin. Okay, that's a 24 black. That's a win. Okay, good. So we're up 80. We're not in session profit, so we rebet and spin. That's a 10 black. We lost, and the 24 was a win, so that doesn't count as the 2 black in a row. Oh, I'm sorry. So we should have gone up a unit there and bet. And that's a 25 red. Okay, and that would have broke even anyway, so that's okay. So it's time to bet again, and we go up from 80 to 90. Here we go. That's a 25 red. Okay, that's a break even. That won't hurt us any. That's actually back-to-back 25s there. Here we go. That's a 29 black. Okay, we lost. Okay, we need 2 in a row though to sit out, so we just go up a unit. Now we're at 100 each, 200 total, and now one of those red numbers in the third column is going to pay really well. That's a 30 red. Okay, that's a $300 win. We're back up 40, but we're not in session profit, so we rebet and spin. We got 2 minutes left with this one. Let's be patient and get on top. That's a 19 red. That's a break even. We'll just rebet and spin. And again, you got a good chance of hitting third column if you hit red. It's a 32 red, but we broke even again. That's because look how many red numbers are in the third column. There's a lot of them. That's a 22 black there. Okay, that's a loss, but we do not. Oh, I'm sorry. We should have went up a unit there. My bad on that one. That's a 25 red. Okay, another break even. So we'll do that unit now since we missed it. So we're at 110 each, 220 total. And that's a 1 red. Okay, at least if it's red, you know you haven't lost, so that's good. Now let's be patient and hit some good numbers. Okay, that's a 3. That's a good one. That's a $330 win. Now we're back up 170, and I think that's close enough to session profit to restart. So let's be smart and do that, and let's build it back up naturally. That's a 21 red. And a lot of you are probably saying if you hadn't gone back down, you would have won huge again right there, and you're right. But anytime you can be safe when you're playing roulette, usually you're better safe than sorry. And so I try to play safe. And look at that. That would have been 3 monster wins in a row, but that's okay. I'm all right with that because we're up $230, and we didn't take unnecessary risks when we didn't have to, and that's a 5 red. Okay, that's a break even. We'll just rebet and spin. We're back at base level. We got 15 seconds left with red Rover, and that is a 17 black. And that's a loss. And again, actually, we just ran out of time. So we made $210 profit in 15 minutes with Red Rover Roulette system. And let me know what you guys think down in the comments as usual. If you have a system like this, send it in to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. Pick a new one every single day of the week, 365 days of the year. You guys are amazing. Keep sending those in, and we're searching for the best roulette system possible each and every day. If you're enjoying that search with me, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and that would be wonderful. And you guys are just the best, and thank you very much for everything. And I love that we're on this journey together each and every day. And this is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.